Action.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, so how was your week?
It was amazing.
Nice. So I'm really happy that you guys have decided to, walk on this incredible journey with us. It's an amazing journey. Your life is about to change. I'm sure the previous activity that you did about knowing your DNA, getting to know your baselines, and identify how you take decisions, it has helped you get some insights or some breakthroughs about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we are. So just to give you a quick recap, previously we did the know your inner DNA exercise. We identified our baselines. We did the baselines expression and non-expression activity, and we also did the change activity in which you saw how you can bring about the change you want to bring in your life, and be a more and have a more satisfied life, right?
Yeah.
So let's come to the next step of the program.
Yes.
This is called integrated power coding. This basically this is to help you discover how to reprogram and reload new codes that you might have formed over the years, or that serves as your inner DNA and decisions. So I'll just to explain it a bit better. Codes are something which we have developed as a part of as a consequence of an event that has happened in our lives. So there are some instructions which I'm going to read out to you. So yeah, just pay attention. So what is integrated power coding? As soon as we hear the word power coding, that question comes to our mind.
Yeah.
So the Incredible You program, it works deep in your mind to shift blockages that prevent you from moving ahead. Integrated power coding is a process that helps you understand how you have been coded and how to remove the negative coding that you may have not even be aware of, and it's working subconsciously in your mind. Over time, thoughts can become codes, and these codes are the meanings we give to the world that we live in. So it's a very powerful thing that our mind does, and we have to be aware of how we develop our codes. And these can be N codes and E codes, which I'm going to tell you more about in the next few minutes. So, like baselines, the codes are motivating. They can inspire you. They can even crush you. So they are that powerful. You integrate your codes without even realizing. They will be collected over time from your family, friends, social media, TV, etc., and from your experiences, of course. It is usually easier to change a code than it is to radically change a baseline, because coding happens as a result of as a result of interpreting an event, whereas baselines happen or are developed over the period of time as you grow up. So hope that is clear. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask.
No, that's clear.
It's clear.
Okay. So what are the types of codes? Like I said, there are N codes and E codes. The majority of people have no idea how they are coded. They don't have a clue what's running in the background in their minds. They can't see that the real direction is given by the E codes and the N codes, and that's how they take their decisions, and that's how they react to certain situations in life. And we can define our codes, and we can eliminate all the encodes that destroy us. So if your baselines are clear and you have no idea how you're coded, then you will not understand why things don't work out for you. So for example, you might be putting in a lot of hard work for achieving an outcome, but you're not getting the results that you want. So encodes and ecodes would help you understand why that is happening, or why you're having mood swings, or why you're having angry outbursts or frustrations at certain situations, and you don't know the reason why that's happening. So we are gonna, uh, work on that in this step. We're gonna identify your encodes and ecodes. So uh, would you like some examples of what encodes and ecodes are?
Yes, so because I'm confused,
Yeah.
I need examples.
Yeah, no problem. So, see, as a child, we often experience events or see things that define us, that defines what you believe about the world. So, these beliefs are called codes. So, what makes the event important is not the intensity or the greatness or the significance of the event itself, but the importance you have given to that event, how you see it, how you feel about it, and what meaning you have given to that event. Because that keeps repeating over and over in your head as a silent whisper. Yeah. So, and for identifying our codes, we'll talk about defining moments. So some activities which have happened in your past, in your childhood, in your school, college, workplace, which have stuck in your head and which have had a deep impact on you are called defining moments. And these defining moments lead to your goals. For example, Ravi's brother shouted at him in front of his friends when he was a child. So that was a defining moment for Ravi. And the code that got formed because of that event was that his brother will always embarrass him in front of his friends and other acquaintances. Now, in reality, that would have been a one-off scenario where Ravi did something stupid and his brother, because he was elder, he just said, "Don't do it," or maybe he raised his voice a little bit, but not really shouted. But how Ravi saw it as what his perception was that his brother will always embarrass him. So that negative code will stick into his mind and will always keep on playing in the background. So this is an example of a negative code. So I'll give you an example of a positive code now. In spite of bad results, John's father praised him on his efforts, and he appreciated him for everything that he did for his final exams, irrespective of the outcome. So the code that John formed was that he now made a decision to increase his efforts even more and make his dad proud. So the perception of John of this event was that it is a very motivating and encouraging thing to do, which his father did, and that has had a positive impact on him. So now I hope it's clear.
Yes.
Yeah, what an encode or a e-code is.
Yes.
I'll tell you something very interesting about the encodes and ecodes and how our brain functions in these scenarios. So our brain has a tendency to collect evidence for everything that we believe. So the brain will always try to look for proofs, for evidences in real everyday scenarios that strengthens our codes, whether they are encodes or ecodes. And mostly because we are not aware, they are usually encodes that keep getting strengthened. For example, once you have formed a code, your brain will start hunting for evidence to prove that it is true so that you can hold on to it. Sometimes the brain will make things appear in a way you want them to, so that the code is constantly fed evidence to confirm that it's true. This is where the code gets integrated in your mind, like deep inside your mind. Just to give you an example, you can imagine a seedling. So you plant it and you start to water it. Now you have a choice to water it with nutrients, or you have a choice to water it with slow killing poison. The more you water it, the more codes get integrated to confirm the code. If you pour nutrient water over the poisoned seedling, it will not believe it has nutrients. Yeah. So it will believe it's not worthy, and it will kill the power of the nutrients. So that's how powerful our encodes can be. And as the years go by, the codes will become so strong that you will see the world through it. That is why you see people who have experienced a lot of difficulties in life tend to become a bit hard, at least on the surface, and they're not able to express their feelings very well. That is one of the reasons. Over the years, you have built up so much evidence to support that belief that it becomes integrated in you, and you don't even think to question it as an adult. A small example, I would say that my elders, or grandparents kept sharing, money doesn't grow on trees. So, and when you grow up and you start working, and if you start with that belief that money doesn't grow on trees, you'll find it difficult to make more money.
Yeah.
So you can just replace that with something like money
Money
grows on trees. Yeah. So that's something. So you can't change the past like we just discussed, but you can change your interpretation of the past, and that will change everything, and that will reintegrate your codes to power codes to serve, support, nurture, and challenge you if you choose to. So this is what encodes and ecodes are. So in this activity, we're gonna think about our life events. We're gonna take some time. We're gonna do some soul searching, if you have to say so, and we'll do a letting go and holding on activity. You'll think about some 5 major events of your life, some defining moments like I discussed in the examples. They can be 2 negative or 3 positive, or if you want to have 4 positive, 1 negative, or 2 positive, 3 negative, that's fine. But let's have more positive and 2 negative events. You write them down, and then there will be some questions which I'm going to ask in the debrief section. So let's start thinking about those events that have had huge impact on you as you have grown up.
Okay. And
Yeah. Any questions?
so is there a way that we need to like write these?
So basically, you will think of past events of your life. They can be both positive and negative that made a big impact on you.
Hmm.
There's no particular way. You just list down the activities,
Okay.
and in the activities,
Okay.
then when we go through the debrief and when we discuss that, I'm going to ask you a certain set of questions,
Okay.
and then you will reply to me.
So first we list down.
Yeah, you'll just write down whatever you remember about that event
Okay.
and what impact it was on you.
Hmm.
Okay.
Done?
Yes.
Done.
Oh, awesome. So let's start with you, Ben.
Yeah.
Do you want to discuss a positive event or a
No.
negative event?
I have both. Quite a few actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm so old, so I have many events. So I'll start from the childhood. I think one positive event you
Yeah.
can say I'll
Let's start
start
with
off with.
positives.
Is it
That's
okay,
good.
or maybe Mittal would like to start?
You
It's
can
okay, I
start.
can
It's
start.
okay, yeah.
So one of my early childhood memories was my father taking me to the zoo.
Oh.
Yeah. So when I went to the zoo, what I still cannot forget is the smell. Yeah.
Of animals?
Of animals. It still stays with me. I can still smell it even now.
Oh.
So it was so fragrant for me, so wonderful. Yeah, I love animals. I mean, that was a really defining moment. Seeing all those animals, smelling them, seeing them moving around, interacting with each other, interacting even with us sometimes, looking at us with those eyes and all. So I really felt a deep connection with the animals.
Nature?
With
Yeah.
animals mainly.
Yeah. Okay.
There are more than birds and all, but it's more animals.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I started taking a lot of interest in animals. And it was a defining moment for me because I started loving animals from that day.
Oh.
Yeah, and when my children were young, I took them also to the zoo.
Wow.
So one of my favorite places to go in any city is the zoo.
Oh.
Even today, whenever I go, Paris, I go to the zoo. I go to London, I go to Vietnam, I go to the zoo. So it stays with me.
visiting zoo and
Is on
being
my-
close to nature is like very close.
Yes,
To you. It gives you a
yes.
positive feeling.
Very much.
And that happened because your father took you to the
Yes,
zoo.
yes.
So how old were you when that
Maybe
happened?
7, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7.
See,
yeah.
so many years have passed and you still remember that event so clearly.
Yes.
So that is how powerful it is.
Correct.
And who else was there with you in that visit?
I don't remember other people,
Yeah.
but I remember my father was there and I was there and the animals were there.
Did he say something specific that you still remember?
Yeah, he was very enthusiastic
Hmm.
about the animals himself,
Yeah.
and he probably wanted me to have knowledge
Okay.
about things.
Oh.
So he took me to different places, but the zoo really made a big impact.
So is there anything that you said to yourself that, oh, I really like that? I know it was like
Yeah.
long time back, but was there anything that you said to yourself that I'm gonna do this every year, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
every month or something like that?
Yeah, the thing was, what happened after that was I started reading up about animals.
Oh, okay.
A lot. That was a big difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the great thing that you learned from this event that you got closer to nature and you
Yeah.
started learning more about it.
Yes.
And so what is the E-code, for example, that you created out of that event?
The code is that we are all living in harmony
Wow.
with each other.
Wow.
Yeah. So human beings, animals,
Wow.
creatures. So the ecosystem should not be disturbed. That's what
Such a powerful E-code that has
Yeah.
got created because of a small event that your father took to a zoo.
Yes.
Took you to a zoo.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, so that was pretty helpful. And why do you think it's important for you to hold on to this positive belief? And how will it make your life better in the future?
I think this positive belief, harmony, of course, was there, and what I also look at my baselines, and one of my baselines is balance.
Okay.
So I think balance could also mean harmony and in sync with nature,
Yeah.
human beings, everything. So it's important for me to have a balanced life.
Mhm.
I mean, not extreme either way.
Mhm.
So that's one of the reasons. And I see animals also; they have a balanced life.
Yes.
They are well balanced. They don't get overly excited. Sometimes they do, of course, but
Yeah.
they come back to normal very fast.
Yeah, I think having pets in your house puts you in a great emotional state. Having a dog, whenever you come to the house and he
Yeah.
welcomes you and he just jumps on you,
Yes.
that gives a very positive, strong emotion to people.
Correct.
And that's where they connect so well with dogs. Okay, so let's talk about your experience with them. Let's have a negative example this time.
Yes.
So, what was the moment? What was the defining moment?
So, a very close uncle of mine.
Yeah.
When I was very young, I came to know that he has cheated in his marriage. So that was the time when I felt very bad because I was really close to him,
Mhm.
and then I was really taken aback and started thinking negative things about him and the concept of marriage in general.
Okay. So that was a negative moment. And how old were you when this happened?
I think I was in class 2. So I was, how old would I be?
7.
7 or something.
Did you share that with anybody when you noticed that?
No. So I actually did not. I mean, the all of my family members and everyone was knowing this thing. Just because I was a kid, no one used to take out the topic in front of me or
Everybody
hide.
knew.
Everybody knew. They were
Okay.
trying to hide it from me because I was too young to know that event.
So what did you tell yourself at that time when you found out that I know, but and others also know, but nobody's talking about it?
So I basically what I formed in my mind is that all men cheat in marriages. So even though my father was a good man, is a good man, but I still had this image that okay, after marriages all men change. So that is something that is hardwired in my mind.
Okay. And how would you have wanted the situation to change if you could go back and change the situation that you came across?
I would go and kill that other lady who tried to.
See how strong she is, like thinking about the emotions. So she's talking about killing that lady and
Yeah,
having a strong belief that everybody in the world cheats, like all men are cheaters. So
Yeah.
it's such a strong belief she has had. So what will you be giving up, Mittal, if you don't change this belief? Do you think there is something which you would be losing in life?
Yeah, I mean, even if, any guy I meet, I feel that this man is going to change in case we marry. So I don't think I would be happy
So
getting
do you
into
think
marriage.
this would stop you from achieving some things in life?
Yes.
Some personal happiness, good
Yes.
relationships in life? Do you
Yes.
think this will stop you?
Yes.
Yeah. So then at least we now know that there is a problem and we need to do something about it.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's nothing to worry because we know what to do about it.
Yes.
And that will come in. Oops, sorry. So that will come in the next steps of what to do about it. Okay. So I think the activity was good. So basically now we know if we keep holding on to the negative beliefs, there will be something which we might lose, and if we keep holding on to the positive beliefs, we'll obviously have something to gain, and that will make our lives better. So now that we have this clarity, we'll just close the activity. It was very nice talking to you guys. Just go back and think more about such instances. And now that we have discussed 6 events right now, 3 positive and 3 negative, let's discuss more when you go back home. Think more about these events and write down answers to the questions, and then that will give you more clarity. Okay? So we'll
Yes.
see you next week.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.